Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the Voice Trans Academy workshop. My name is Savvy, and today we're going to work on how we can learn and use different exercises and techniques to make our voices more feminine or more masculine. Depending on wherever you want to go, there's a lot of techniques and theory that you can learn in this little course that we're going to have here. So first and foremost, I do need to make something very clear. Voice is very fickle. There is some muscles involved in the process, and these need to be treated properly so that they don't get damaged or so that you don't hurt your voice on the long term. Most importantly, what you want to do is keep your voice hydrated, drinking plenty of water before using your voice, at least 10 to 15 minutes before doing any voice use. And that is because when you drink the water, you have vocal folds, and these are the things that need to be hydrated. They're like in your throat. But when you drink the water does not go down to the lung pipe, but rather to the stomach pipe. That's amazing. We don't choke on water, at least not all the time. That water will then eventually reach the vocal folds through the blood flow, which is why you want to drink the water 10 to 15 minutes to allow your body to integrate that water and make good use of it. Okay? With that being said, there's also certain things that you have to be aware of. Certain medications, such as spironolactone, or other substances, such as alcohol or smoking, can make your voice a lot more dry. Generally, just making your body entirely drier also affects the properties of the vocal folds. Those will become much more dry, and thus it will be much harder to use your voice. Most importantly, the vocal folds vibrate sometimes at a few hundred times per second. That is an incredible fast speed, and so if you rub those two vocal folds against each other really quickly, aka when you're using your voice, if they're really dry, that can cause some friction and eventually build up some inflammation, some nodules, and some things that could permanently damage your voice. So be always really mindful that if you have anything that can dehydrate your voice, such as spironolactone, of course, do not stop medication if it's really important for you, but just try to work around it. If you take that medication in the morning, prefer practicing your voice in the evening, for example. Now, I also know it's allergy season. I am not excluded by this. I also suffer from it. That also contributes to making the voice a bit drier. Allergy medication does make your voice a tiny bit dry as well, so just be wary of that. Definitely don't stop to take it if it makes you feel better, if your allergies are really strong. Just as with any substance that makes you dry, just try to avoid during the voice training when you take the medication. Anyways, let's get started a little bit on what voice is about. So we use the power source filter model to describe the very simple basics of voice, namely the power, which is how much air we push from the lungs, and that air will then move up your trachea, which is like this tube connecting to the larynx. And so this place here is called the larynx. It's like a little voice box. You can find it behind your Adam's apple. And so when those vocal folds vibrate, thanks to the air that you provide from below, your vocal folds get set in motion. They vibrate really quickly, and that creates a sound, which we call the source sound. Now, that sound will then propagate, reverberate, and bounce around in this resonance chamber, hence why we call it the resonance. And this corresponds to the filter. If you have like a really big resonance or like a really big vocal tract, then you get like a really dark voice. But if you get a really small vocal tract, you get a really bright resonance, thus you get a really femme voice. And so the idea behind this is that we are generally going to want to not focus too much on air. There's some exceptions where we would want to do that. And then we'll have to look at the vocal folds, how they vibrate, in what manner, what pattern, and of course, most importantly, we'll have to work around with the resonance chamber or with the size of the vocal tract that we have available. Now, my goal is not for my phone to ring. My goal is for you to teach you what exactly we're changing about voice. I'm not here to tell you how to speak like a Californian girl or like, I don't know, like a surfer bro or dude or whatever, you know? No, I want to make it clear that certain things when it comes to voice are linked to biological effects, namely here, testosterone. Testosterone does affect the voice of voice users in 3 different ways. And these are really important because they will be the drive, or rather the guideline that we want to follow to either mimic the effects of testosterone or negate the effects of testosterone. Here, I'm speaking with a femme voice. Let's pretend I have not had any effects of testosterone, and then testosterone suddenly hits. First thing that happens is my vocal folds vibrate a lot slower.
And they vibrate a lot slower, so like I get like a...
Okay, let me do this again. Sorry, I'm really tired today. Okay, so we start up here. The first thing that happens is your larynx drops. So you get a much bigger vocal tract.
The second thing is the vocal folds vibrate a lot slower. And the third thing is those vocal folds vibrate a lot thicker, so like they have a lot more effective mass in the process. Thus, all of these 3 things together create a really masculine voice. And we can negate
all of those 3 things and get a femme voice. So we can go one way or the other. Trying to mimic the effects of testosterone will yield a more masculine voice. Trying to negate the effects of testosterone will yield a more feminine voice. And that is about it. Okay, awesome. Before we move on to having people on stage, as per usual, we're going to have 2 people on stage who want to masculinize their voice and 2 people on stage who want to feminize their voices. But before we do this, there's something really important about voice that I didn't mention. We do want to keep our voice hydrated, yes, but it's a muscle. And just like any muscle, those need some vocal warm-up. Those warm-ups are really important to your voice. You're not going to go on a marathon and just run for it. No, you're going to want to at least stretch your legs. Otherwise, you're into traumatize your poor muscles and you'll not run a long distance. The same goes for the voice. So we have a few warm-ups that we can do. So let's try this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one of the warm-ups, then I count to 3, and you can go ahead, unmute yourselves, and do it after me. All right? I start with a simple O sound from my lowest up to my highest. Let's try this. And you can try this in 3, 2, 1. And back down. Very good. Let's try another one. Let's try a Z sound, as in the word zoo. I go first. And you go in 3, 2, 1. Back down. Okay, very good. We can try yet another sound. Let's try this one. Let's say J, as in joy. J. I go first. And you can try this in 3, 2, 1. Back down. All right, very good. Good job. Now we are ready, all warmed up with our voices, so we are ready to get started. All right, so first of all, I'm going to have up on stage someone who wants to masculinize their voices. If you're interested, please raise your hand, use the hand emoji, or jump in place. Anyone wanting to practice mask voice? All right, I see someone jumping. All right, Jackster, come up on stage. Come on. Applause for Jackster. Oh, I love the 8-bit walk. That's very nice. Hello.
Hi.
All right, we got 10 minutes starting from now. Let's go. All right, Jackster, have you ever been on stage before?
Yes, I have.
Recognize. Yeah, that I was thinking. All right. So let's see. So you want to maybe let me know if you've made any progress, or if there's anything specific you'd like to work on, since you already have some knowledge and some experience regarding voice.
I wanted to try figure out a way to make my voice more consistent, because I notice some days it sounds like a little bit on the feminine side, and on other days it's like the more masculine, and I want to try negate that.
All right. So behavior changes. This is a bit hard to do like in a 10-minute session, but what I would say is at the very least, we can try and find little tips and tricks that you can use to kind of like bring yourself back down to a more masculine sound, or just kind of ground yourself with your mask voice. Okay. Let's just see how far you can go to mask voice again. So let's see, what's your best attempt at a mask voice? Let's go for like a really low pitch, really dark sound. And let's take some sentences here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Whoops. Do I know my slides? No. That's the one. That's not the one. That's the one. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So let's try this. All right.
So let's go, like, super bro dude voice. Yeah. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh wow. Okay. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Okay, yeah, so cool. Hello, good morning. How are you? It's like we're like, hello, good morning. How are you?
Well, like around B2, C3, very good, very low.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
It's a bit hard to make out exactly how you're speaking given the mic quality, but we'll have to make do with it. Oh, let's make sure of something really quick. You never know if VRChat changes settings, but please go to your quick menu, click on the audio button, scroll down a bit, and make sure that noise suppression is turned off and that the mic activation threshold is all the way down to 0%.
Okay.
Is it all
Okay,
set?
how's that? Yes, I think so.
Ah, okay, this is much better. You're not cutting off as much. Great. All right, let's try this again. Want you to match my pitch. Let's go here. Match my pitch here. Oh.
Oh.
Right, you're here. Oh, you're already lower. Good. Okay. So, oh.
Oh.
Nice. Oh. All right. How easy is it for you to do consistently that pitch? Like, oh, hello, good morning. How are you?
I feel like that one would be my most consistent one I'm able to do.
Okay, that's very good. Would you say that you can go? I mean, I know you can go lower. I heard you like go down to B2, etc. But I suppose these are maybe like a little bit tougher for you to like do on the fly. Unlike, oh, well, you were around D3, C sharp 3 here, I think. Let's try this again. Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh, solid. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's very good. Oh, now can you try and hold that sound? Oh, hello, good morning.
Oh, hello, good morning.
That's awesome. All right. Hello, good morning. Now let's try to make that sound really dark. Oh, so let's go for the whispers again. The whispers, the whispers. Give me the sentence. Pat that cat on a bright whisper. Pat, pat, cats. The small size. Cats.
Cat.
Cat.
And now let's make the pat bigger and bigger. Pat, pat,
Pat, pat, pat, pat that cat.
Pat, 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 pat that cat.
very good. And now from this really dark pat, we go.
Pa, pat that cat.
Oh, pat that cat.
Now here's where you want to be careful. I heard the following.
Oh.
Well, so your vocals were here. Not your vocal folds. Your vocal tract was like this. Oh, pat that cat. So whilst it still was really dark and masked, pat that cat, you did start here. Pat that cat. So you have like,
Yeah.
like a small little bounce back up to like a brighter sound, right? That's where you want to be really careful with. Do you hear that shift happening, or is it like you heard it happening? You're like, okay, I can't control this. I'll just go with this. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to control.
okay, so there's another way to go about this. Here you did the following. You closed the vocal folds from a dark whisper. And whilst you close the vocal folds, your body, or rather your voice, is used to being at a smaller size, thus a brighter resonance. So what happens is when you close your vocal folds, there's also the same action of like you bring your larynx back up to a brighter, smaller size. And we can try to do this the other way around. You could try on the bright sound like and then like kind of do a yawn.
I go for a really big size.
Do you want to try
Oh,
that?
wow. Sure.
Oh well, we have
Uh,
trolls.
Huh?
It's okay. Let's continue.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes, very good.
Cut.
Yes. Now let's try the sentence.
Oh. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Yes, very good. Now try this.
Oh, how are you?
How are you?
So here is where it gets really interesting. You have this
How
R.
you?
So like as you go up in pitch, the resonance shoots back up.
How
R.
you?
And when you go back to the lower pitch, then boom, you get the bigger size again, right?
How are you?
Okay. So what you want to be doing here is make sure that the higher pitch here, which is F sharp free, so it's not super high for a mask voice, like
I can be talking here and like go back up here. I mean, like I could talk up here and go back down.
right? So that's definitely something that is possible in a mask voice. So don't shy away from higher pitches.
How
Are you? So let's just make sure that we get that higher pitch really dark. I want you to mimic after me, in your normal voice, or normal, behavioral voice, I guess. Let's go a bit higher because that's a pitch that I know you've darkened before. Very good. So now you're here. And now I want to make that a lot darker. Yawn.
how are you?
Ow. How are you?
Nice. Careful here. How are you? You kind of
Ah,
land
yeah.
back up. But the start is really good. The start is really good. You could try it the other way around. You could try to do like, how are you? And then, how are you? And try to like progressively go down. Maybe you can like use your hand, put it on your neck, and feel for the Adam's apple. How are you? As it goes down.
Okay.
Give it a try. How?
How are you?
Yes, very good. That's counteracting the natural motion of the higher I go in pitch, the smaller my size gets, right? Here you're completely going against it. You're, how are you? You're monotonous, of course, so it's not exactly the same, but you are like making it so that you change the size whilst keeping a stable vibration of the vocal folds, aka the same pitch. So that's very good. All right. So basically, the ways to tackle, or rather to get more consistent with your voice, oh God, that's so loud. The ways to get really consistent with your voice is to really make sure that you kind of patch up all the holes, right? Like you might be able to say,
hello, good morning, how are you?
but you're not protected from like,
Hello, good morning.
or like you could like go back up to like a smaller resonance to smaller size as you go higher in pitch, right? Because your voice, I guess you have started with like a more femme voice, and so you've also been used to like like speaking of a really small size, right? So these are
Yeah.
things that you want to watch out for. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Um, Other things I could say that's like a little bonus thing for you is think of thinky sounds. Okay, there's a real scientific word for it. I don't have it in my head right now. But basically, think of all the sounds you say when you think before speaking, like or or different languages have different ones. So I don't know, like French has like or I don't know, different dialects have different sounds. And I don't know if you're one person to like think out loud a lot, but if you are, making sure that those sounds are really masked, or like really working like getting like the most dark and low like towards
Yeah, so I was thinking that
right? So it already like sets your voice back into a more masculine sound without having you thinking of anything if you work enough on it. So it's a good way to hack your voice into gradually making it more easy and more easy for you to reach those bigger sizes and those lower pitches. Okay?
Oh, okay. That's really helpful. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. Everyone, give a big applause to Jackster. Oh, wow. That 8-bit jump, that 8-bit walk, that was quite the thing. All right, so now next up on stage, someone who, I was going to say fan voice, but, oh, I'm not sure if that person wants, I guess, Jenny Bear, I think you were jumping first. I don't know, do you want to go up on stage for feminizing your voice? Let's say no. Okay, never mind then. All right, let's see. Who wants to feminize their voices then? Have you already been on stage, Marina? Well, I'll try to get someone on stage who has never been on stage before. Ta 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 ta. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Ta 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 ta. Pretzel, you want to come up on stage? All right, come up on stage. Come on, come on, come on. Applause to Pretzel Witch. Hello, hello, hi there.
Hi. Thank you.
All right. I'm guessing this is some kind of signalist character. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Yay, I know culture. Okay, let's get started. Very first time in this workshop, or have you already been here before?
I was here a week ago, but I didn't go up.
Okay, well then let's make that change. Well, you're already up here, so yeah. Let's get started. We got 10 minutes starting now.
Thank you.
Okay, so Pretzel, hi, welcome, hi. So let's see. I want to hear a little bit your pitch range. So please make sure
Okay.
that you go really quickly into the quick menu, click on the sound menu, then scroll down a bit and look for noise suppression and for mic activation threshold.
Hold on.
Oh, that probably would be escape on keyboard, I suppose.
Um. What did you say I needed to do? Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. So I want you to open the VR chat menu. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
You should
I've
find like
got
a
it open.
sound. You should find a sound. You should find a sound icon. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you click it, you get some sound settings, right?
Ah. Okay. Noise suppression. I've turned it on.
No, turn it off. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. It was already off.
Okay, but what
Sorry,
about the mic activation threshold? That's right below.
It says 5%.
Can you put it to 0%, please?
Okay. There we go.
All right, awesome, perfect. All right, now let's try this. I want you to give me a slide from your lowest pitch up to your highest pitch. Let's try this. Oh. Give it a try.
Oh.
Okay, up to here. Okay, so there's quite a lot of range, a bit of voice breaks, but that's okay. We don't need to go crazy high up here to the fem voice. You're perfectly fine. All right,
Okay.
now the next thing we want to do is make it so that your voice is a lot brighter.
Right.
While accompanying that higher pitch that we're going to go for. So first off, I want you to match my pitch to the best of your abilities. Let's start here. Oh.
Oh.
Very good. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, you're here. Oh, let's go a little bit higher. Oh.
Um.
Very good. Oh. Now try again to hold that pitch. Oh. So you went a little bit higher. That's okay. Oh, but oh. In that range, we're good. Okay? So that pitch, why do I choose this pitch? This pitch here can be very feminine or
Ooh, really masculine, right?
so I like to take
Yeah.
that pitch to kind of see the difference between those two sounds. Do you know how an opera singer sings? You know that like,
Oh, like really
Yeah.
dark and really powerful.
do you know how to do that kind of sound?
Ooh.
Or
I'm not
it's like a
sure.
yawn. Okay, like try to
Yeah.
yawn, like
Oh, yeah, I tried to hold the
Oh.
yawn. Yeah. Can you speak like that?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, I
yawny?
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And now we can go. Looks like right now you're like in this pitch, but let's go up in pitch. Do 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 do.
Sorry.
it's okay, take your time. Once, because now you're up here. Da 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 da. So like you're kind of here in resonance. Oh, you're not like exactly like oh. So you did let your larynx move up a little bit. You did let your size get a bit smaller. That's okay. Let's see. We can reach those pitches fairly well. So now let's move on to how we can make you scale your resonance, your vocal tract size. So I want you to give me the sentence, pat that cat, on a whisper. Make sure that whisper is really dark for starters. Whew, words are hard today. So something like,
Pot that cut.
it's a really big cat, by the way.
Pot
Right.
that cut.
Yeah, give it a try.
Pot that cat.
Very good. Now we're going to try to make that cat smaller.
Pot, pot.
Pat, pat, pat.
Okay. Um.
Very good. Now you've gone from a really dark masculine whisper
Pot that cut.
to pat that cat, a much smaller, much brighter whisper. Pat that cat. And thus, this is a much more feminine leaning whisper. Now, what you want to learn from this is, I know your avatar won't show it here, but you can take your hand in real life and put it against your neck. And you want to do exactly that same scaling and kind of like see what you
Right.
feel, or like, well, feel what you see. No. Feel what you hear. No. Anyways, just keep your hand there. Give me that really dark pat again
Pot, pot,
and scale it bright again. Yeah.
pot, pot.
Very good. Yes. How did that feel?
It. I. I don't know how to describe it. Sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to. But generally, the more you spend time with this, the more you can start to feel that when you have a really dark voice, your Adam's apple is really low.
Pot that cut.
It's It's kind of like going down into your chest, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It
I
goes
feel it.
down. Very, very good. And when you go brighter, it goes a lot higher, almost like burrowing itself into your chin.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that you effectively made your vocal tract a lot smaller by bringing the larynx up. And thus, you have a much smaller size. We want to keep that small size and then produce some voice. So let's go back to the bright pat. Pat, pat, pat. Very good. Very good. And now we're going to close the vocal folds whilst we maintain that position. Don't hold it with your hand. Just try to hold it with the muscles, or not with the muscles, but like, you know, just yes. Very good. And now we're going to close the vocal folds. Yes. Yes. Pat that cat.
Pat that cat.
Very good. Awesome. Let's try a slightly higher pitch. Ba ba ba. Pat that cat.
Pat that cat.
Okay, very good. Pat that cat. Okay, nice. I want to try the following now. Has the board loaded for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at that very first sentence. Pat that cat. We'll try and find that voice quality again. Pat that cat.
Okay. Pat that cat.
Awesome. And now can you read that sentence? Pat that cat. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That was amazing. Very good. Okay, let's try the next sentence. This time it's all as in bar. All. So we can try a different exercise. Well, still pat that cat, but instead we say pot dot cot, and we want to say pot dot cot. The crowbar opened the subpar car. Give it a try.
Um. Okay.
Or you could just try to jump right into it from the same position that you were up here. Pat that cat, that mad brats.
Pat. Sorry. Sorry. I'm struggling. Um.
You're okay. You're okay. Did you have any water?
Yeah. Just a moment.
Very
I've
good.
got
Take
time.
your time. Yep. Let's drink water. That was fake water, by the way. Don't do that. Drink real water, please.
Right. Yeah. I've got real water. Don't worry.
Okay, awesome. All right, so you're doing really well. Pat that cat. And then you can read this again. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That's very good. Now let's try to break the intonation a bit up. So let's go. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Going up in pitch.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Because right now you're still monotonous. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Beep boop bop. Let's try this. Ah. Whoops. Toot. Let's keep going. Ah. Very good. No need to go much higher. And now you're going to try to go one pitch up every letter, every word. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. And on that same high pitch, mad. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Awesome. And now let's try this. That mad brat.
That mad brat.
Very good. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Okay. And now do you hear there's something in your voice here? That mad brat sat on that flat mat. So it has the right resonance. It has like a really small size. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. It has the right pitch to even the good intonation, but it's a little bit too thick. Rather, you might hear some tell of buzziness, right? That mad brat sat on that flat mat, where you would want to have more something like that mad brat sat on that flat mat. So having a less involved voice. So you want to basically try to go as quiet as you can here. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Give it a try.
Okay. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, that was great. And let's try to make it mid-intonated. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Let's make it like that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. There's a tiny voice crack here. That's mad brat, but it's okay. Honestly, it sounds really good. Now, maybe this is a tiny bit too quiet. That mad brat's on a flat mat, but it's not as buzzy, or like it's not buzzy like that mad brat's on a flat mat. So for you, this is kind of like two extremes. That mad brat and that mad brat. So you can work on like finding an in between into between those two sounds, and yeah, pretty much that's a femme voice. Like you get a really small size, a high pitch, even an intonation to match. Although maybe some pitch work could help you find more consistency and avoid some breaking. But other than that, really good. You pretty much got it done. Very good job.
Thank you.
You're very much welcome. Everyone, give a big round of applause to Pretzel Witch. All right, now up on stage, I'll have the second person who wants to work on making their voices more masculine. Who might be interested? Okay. All right. I'm guessing no one. No one wants to sound masculine.
No one wants to sound like a child. Oh, what a shame.
Da 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 da. All right. Maybe not today. I guess we get an extra femme voice round today. All right. Let's see. Who might be interested? The Pickles. You want to feminize your voice? Yes? All right. Come up on stage. Everyone give a big round of applause to Pickles. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have
Yes?
been trying to adjust my voice in a way that is more feminine as I
Mhm.
talk with people and trying to get it to where I was. Thing is that sometimes after a while my throat starts kind of hurting. Um, so I was wanted to make sure I was doing that correctly or if that is even the correct way to voice train.
So tell me your process.
Um, More so that I'm just trying to adjust my voice in like gradually and it's hard to explain. As I talk with people and individuals, I try to adjust my voice to a more feminine and lighter tone to try and more impersonate a woman per se.
Okay.
Um,
By
and
gradual, you mean like you're like, I don't know.
Like you're maybe like starting down here and you kind of like slowly build up your voice to go
yeah,
closer and
I
closer to like a
go
more feminine voice, like slowly bringing
Yeah,
it up and
I go up
yeah.
or down, depending on trying to figure out where I'm want it to be and stuff.
Do you have any goal voice in mind?
Um, Not particularly. Just trying to aim for
Okay,
something a little feminine.
gotcha. All right. So it's interesting to me that you bring up the graduality of bringing your voice up to something more feminine. I won't say that it doesn't work, but it's just a lot more tricky. See, when we deal with voice stuff or voice concepts, such as like a high pitch or a low pitch, right? Our brain is like, what is high, what is low? The brain doesn't know. It kind of knows black and white, right? Shades in between is harder to discern, right? So someone who has like a trained music ear might do da 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 and hear all the little steps in between. But someone who hasn't had like a lot of exposure to music or like scales might be like, okay, these two pitches da are like the exact same sound, even though there is like a little change, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. When you get to like changing your voice more gradually, do you really hear the difference between like this voice and like this voice? Technically, that second one is a bit more femme sounding because it's brighter, but it's hard to tell the difference. So it's good to work with extremes a little bit just to know what you're looking for, you know, kind of like this might not be an extreme per se. I don't know, like this might be closer to like a femme voice extreme. Not really an extreme, but you know, like it's really like polar opposite to like
This voice, right? So I can move
up the scale like that or down.
down the scale like that. But there is a lot of steps in between. Hello, hello, hello,
Hello, hello, hello, hello, hello, hello, hello, hello, right? And so where do you know where you are in that spectrum if you know, don't have, I guess, scales or like, you know, kind of landmarks to reference your voice to? That's why I generally kind of try to get people to get like sometimes not a caricatural femme voice, but at least something that's far enough from their masculine voice. Because imagine, what if like what if your mask voice was this, right? Maybe like it's not the most feminine, like it's not the most masculine voice, right? But it has the melody, it's already quite bright. Um, but technically there's only like a small tip to like edge it to like the feminine voice. Like da 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 da, like just a little bit higher in pitch, and boom, it's a femme voice. So your brain might be like, that's exactly the same thing, because they're too close. And so it's hard for you to hear. So that's why I try to work with, you know, referencing like
a really dark sound, even if it's like caricatural and no one does this,
or a really, really bright sound, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about those things and see if we can make something happen with your voice. Where does your voice start at? Can you read that first sentence right now in your current voice?
Like my normal voice.
Yeah, I don't know what normal means anymore in voice
Um,
training, but
the first sentence.
yeah.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Great. So, that mad brat sat on the flat mat. So you kind of like are here. So there's several things that we can change. That mad brat sat on the flat mat. So first the pitch is pretty low. Da 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 da. Let's try and go up in pitch a little bit. Let's try to go monotonous. Match my pitch here. Ah. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mat brat sat on the flat mat.
Very good. So right now you are like in a pitch that could be in the fem range. That mad brat sat on that flat mat, but your voice is still a little bit too buzzy. So let's make it really quiet. Try to go as quiet as possible in the same pitch. Ah, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mat brat sat on the flat mat.
Great. So now you have like a really soft voice, as if testosterone has never made them thick. And you are like at a high pitch. Well, not super high, but like that's a pitch that can be either feminized or
made really masculine.
now the only thing you're missing is resonance. So let's try this. Take your hand, IRL, put it on your neck. Try to see if you can feel the bump of your larynx, of your Adam's apple. Can you feel it? Very good. Don't push down on it. Don't force it anywhere. And now we're going to try to say, pat that cat from a dark sound to a bright sound. So,
But
pat, 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 cat. Okay, I think your noise suppression might have cut you off. Can you check really quickly in your settings? So sound settings, noise suppression turned off, and mic activation threshold down to 0%.
Yeah, it's on 0%.
Right, perfect. Let's try this again. Pot, pot, pat, yes. Wow, that was like the most perfect way to do it. Okay, awesome. Super quiet. And now we're going to try to bridge back into that sound we had. Remember that pitch? Let me try this. Pat that cat. Pat that cat. Give it a try.
Pat that cat.
That's very good. And now can you read the sentence? Pat that cat. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on a flat mat.
Very good. Now you haven't exactly kept the brightest sound here, so let's try and see if we can fix that. Take the words that mad brat. Let's make it really dark.
That mad brat. Big size. That mad brat.
Oh yeah, your mic is barely picking that up. It's okay, it's good.
That mad brat.
Okay, from here,
That mad brat.
I want you to try this.
Oh, that mad brat.
Try to keep the whisper consistently dark
Oh,
as you bridge back into full phonation. Give it a try.
Oh, what?
oh, and from here, that mad brat.
That mad brat.
Okay, very good. So you see how you're saying like,
That mad brat.
and you're really far from that you did before, that mad brats, okay? So now you see how using those whispers kind of sets your larynx at a different height, and bridging slowly from the whisper into full voice kind of helps you keep that same height because you hear the whisper. If it goes, if it shoots up, then you know you've gone brighter. If it shoots down,
Oh,
then you know it has gone dark, and you can hear it in the last sound that you do, right? So let's try this again. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Let's try this again. Let's go for that mad brat, and this time we make it really bright. So
that.
that's mad brats.
That mad brat.
Great. And then you close the vocal folds. That mad brats.
That mad brat.
Yes. And now read the sentence. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on a flat mat.
That's very good. Now try to change the intonation a bit. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Mad brat sat on a flat mat.
Very good. All right. So there's a few things to say about this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. So as you were saying some of those words and changing the pitch around, you got a little bit thicker again. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Probably your you said normal voice. I would say your current behavior of voice kind of gravitates more towards
Lower pitches and, most importantly, thicker sounds, right?
because lower pitches sound a lot more full when you power them with, well, more vocal fold mass. So it makes sense that those can carry over a little bit in your fem voice. Remember, you can try to go a bit softer, a bit quieter to find that soft sound again. And then slowly build up. That mad brat, that mad brat, that mad brat, that mad brat, without having to go loud by doing that mad brat, which your body might be used to, especially in the masculine voice. If you have a masculine voice, like,
Oh, well, if you want to like go louder, you're probably just gonna want to increase the vocal fold mass. Like now you just get like a really instantaneous hack to making your voice louder. But you could also try. Like I'm not even that thick. I just like use a lot of air and I make sure that the vocal folds close enough to deal with that amount of air, right? No breathiness, just
right? The same can be done for fem voice. You start with that really quiet sound. Da, 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 da. Watch out for any like or any buzziness that could happen, and you should be good to go. All right, that's what I got for you. So be sure to keep that really bright sound. I don't know if you already knew how to do this, but what I would say is definitely pay attention a lot to how thick your voice can sound, because I think that is one of the biggest things that can make your voice sound more masculine leaning, or at least like it makes it sound definitely buzzy. So you could have like a feminine voice that's really buzzy, but it's pretty uncommon, and that sounds generally more like a cartoon character than like a real person. I mean, some people can sound like that, right? But I don't know. I think stylistically, most people will tend to go for a softer voice for femme voices. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Best of luck for your practice, Pickles. You've done great. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Everyone, give a big round of applause for Pickles. And I can't speak today. All right. Now I'll have up on stage one last person who might want to feminize their voices. I think I saw Iggy here raising the hand before. All right, Iggy, come up on stage. Come on, come on, come on. Applause for Iggy Pancakes. Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi, I'm actually really nervous, but
Hey, it's okay. They are a figment of your imagination. Sorry. Um, it's okay. It's just the two of us here on stage. You're fine. You're totally fine. Okay, so Icky Pancakes, first time in one of these workshops?
yes.
Awesome. Have you been able to follow a little bit of the theory at the start, or are you completely lost as to what the heck are we talking about?
I have a friend who's been trying to help me do voice training, so I was able to follow along with a bit of it, but a lot of it
Right?
was foreign to me.
Boring to you?
Foreign, as
Foreign.
in like,
Sorry. My bad. Okay, heard it wrong. Foreign to you. Okay, let's make it really simple. Voice work by vibrating the vocal folds. But something happened. Testosterone makes the voice suddenly drop.
how did this happen?
Three things. First thing, we had a really small size. Your Adam's apple was really high up on your neck, and it
Dropped suddenly. So now you have a really big space and you sound really dark, like a hollow, cavernous voice. Then the second thing that testosterone did is oh, so the vocal folds are vibrating really fast. Oh, and they vibrate. Oh, they vibrate a lot slower. And the third thing that testosterone does is
it makes the vocal folds a lot thicker,
thus giving like a really masculine and buzzy voice.
right? This is what we want to avoid, or rather to reverse engineer. If I hear you speak, I don't know, let's see, let's have some. Can you read that first sentence for me? Just how you normally would do it, without any practice in mind.
all right, hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you? Okay, so I'm hearing like fairly low in pitch. Let's just try to go up a bit. Hello, 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 hello.
Match my pitch here.
Ah.
Okay, uh,
Great.
Ah. Hello, good morning, how are you?
hello, good morning, how are you?
Very good. So now we have a really good pitch.
Hello, good morning, how are you? But we are a little bit buzzy. And we're also really big and dark. So let's try to first make your voice really soft.
Going from
hello.
to hello, or sorry, let's stay dark.
Hello. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hmm. Can you show me how to do that transition? Like,
Yeah. So no transition here. You're just trying to make the quietest sound you possibly can make.
okay, the quietest sound. Hello, good morning, how are you?
Okay, very good. That's not super quiet, but it's just what we need for a femme voice. Okay, that's very good.
Hello, good.
Let's go back to that pitch.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you? Let's go a little bit higher.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, good morning.
He- hmm. Hello, sorry.
Take your time.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, hello, good morning, hello, good morning.
Very good. Hello, good morning. Let's try it. Say here. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning, how are you? I think my mic disconnected. I can't.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. As I was saying, no, I'm the one who was muted because I'm silly. So, anyways, you did really well.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
You're now soft and you have a high pitch. That's amazing. Third thing we want to do is the most important part is get your voice to a smaller size, effectively making your larynx go up. By size, I literally mean the size available in your neck or your throat. Can you feel your Adam's apple if you put your hands on your neck? Awesome. So if you feel those, can you give me like a really dark pat that cat, like your Darth Vader?
But not goat.
Pat that cat.
Okay, good. And now we want to scale that bright.
But,
Pat, 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 pat. You could feel something move up if you do this correctly.
Pat, pat.
Yes. Yes, very good. Did you feel it move up? Yeah?
Mhm.
Awesome. Now try to go dark
but,
and then shoot back up. Very good. So you probably felt emotion like
but.
very good. Awesome. So now from here, pat that cat. I want you to read the sentence. Hello, good morning. In that really bright whisper.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Awesome. Yes. Compare that to a mask whisper.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Very good. Let's go back bright.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Good.
Hello.
Very good. Now from here. Hello. Hello, good morning. Give it a try.
Hmm. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Okay, careful here. Hello, good morning. You kind of let your resonance drop again. So you can use your fingers on your neck to kind of feel for the Adam's apple. If you feel it go back down, stop, restart. Pat, 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 pat. Hello, good morning. Give it a try.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Try this.
Hello.
Okay, try this. Let's choose a better sentence for this. That's my bad too. All right, let's try pat that cat. How would you say it normally?
Pat that cat.
With a fairly big size. Give that a try.
Pat that cat.
Alright, you went down in pitch. Let's go up in pitch. Ba 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 ba. Pat that cat.
Pat that cat.
Pat that cat, very good. And now let's try this. Pat that cat. Pa. Pa, 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 pa. Pat that cat.
Pat that cat.
Very good. Pat that cat. Try it again.
Pat that cat.
Yes, that's amazing. And now from here, pat that cat. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Pat that cat. That mad brat sat on that
Okay,
flat mat.
you kind of lost it here. You had it before. Pat
I know.
that
I know.
cat, and it dropped again. It's okay. You know, that's what's most important. Okay? It could be easier if you practice the sentence directly. Maybe something like, that mad brat. Go into a whisper.
That mad brat.
Then scale that whisper.
That.
That's mad brat. And then, that mad brat. Okay? Give it a try.
So that mad brat. That. How that mad brat sat
Yes.
on. Sorry.
Good.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
All right, very good. Not the brightest you have done today, but it's very good. It's really up there. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Kind of like a more yawny fem voice quality, like, oh, I'm tired. That mad brat sat on a flat mat. But it exists. So, it's in the fem range. And in worst case scenario, it's like androgynous. But yeah, for a very first time, that's very good. Okay. So, namely, to make things more simple for you, you want to keep a very small size. There's two ways you can check for that smaller size. Either you have your hand on your neck and you can feel the Adam's apple be up there, or you could just resort to, remembering the feeling of, being bright. Pat that cat, kind of like latching on onto like what kind of muscle tensing you feel, and kind of like trying to go back for that, and then just directly jump into a voice. Or you could always do the scaling, pat, 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 always on a really quiet whisper. And then once you have scaled to a really bright sound, your goal is going to be to close the vocal folds. Because when you do a whisper, your vocal folds are out of the way. They're not vibrating. Pat that cat. You can bring those in and out. And you can do this at any pitch you want, by the way, or any resonance you want. So you could do like,
Oh, pat that cat and have like the biggest size ever, right?
or do it the other way around. So play around with resonance scaling exercises, play around with your pitch, and I'm sure you'll find it in no time. Remember, go for the brighter sound, then close the vocal folds. And that's exercise number one. Exercise number two is just you try to go directly for the feeling of it and just jump into a voice. Always try to be at a high enough pitch because doing feminine voices at really low pitches, like maybe something down here, is generally a little bit more difficult to practice. And yeah, it's going to be easier if you do it at higher pitches. So try to aim for a pitch like F3, G3. I think this corresponds to 170 hertz-ish, kind of. So yeah, if you are unsure of what pitches you have, you can always use one of these apps that I put on the board. You can use Nail the Pitch on iOS, Vocal Pitch Monitor on Android. There's Singing Cards on PC, although I think you need an account, so I'm not a fan. You can also just use any tuner out there on the internet. And of course, there's voice tools, which I'm sometimes not a fan of because it gives you like a really specific range to go for in terms of pitch. You could go off of that, but pitch is not the only thing that should motivate your voice training to be more femme.
Mhm.
Okay? Other than that, really good stuff. Everyone give a round of applause to Iggy Pancakes. All right, awesome. So now, I'm going to take some questions from Twitch or from Discord. Do we have any, Rory? All right. Da-da-da. In the meantime, I could take a question from the audience. Anyone has a question? If you have one, please raise your hand or jump in place, I suppose. No questions. All right. I guess I did a really good job then. Oh, wow. Okay. Do we have the question from Discord yet? I would say so. Yeah, you can just pick. Depends. Is there like any specific direction of voice feminization or voice masculinization? Either way, learning the basics of being able to scale your resonance yourself, changing the vocal tract size, going for a really dark sound like pat that cat on a dark whisper, or going for a bright sound, pat that cat on a bright whisper. Is something really important to try and attempt, whatever direction you're going for, because you kind of get to find a feeling for how high your larynx can be or how low it can be. Similarly, you're going to want to like choose a pitch that's like high enough just to practice at, and try to be monotonous, because if you are monotonous, you don't have to care about pitch as much. You just have to care about the sound of the vocal tracts, of how big it is. So if I'm like, that mad brat sat on that flat mat, the pitch is exactly the same the entire way through, but you hear a change happen. So that's one really good way to tell if your resonance dropped, if you're looking at feminization. Similarly, if you're working on masculinizing your voice, you might want to, oh, that mad brat sat on that flat mat, and you feel it shoot back up, then you know that you want to bring your resonance back down to get a bigger size, etc., etc. So yeah, those exercises pretty much can be applied to your voice work. That's those that I would recommend mostly. The whisper scale, or if you struggle with finding like differences in whispers, you can always try to like yawn, try like a really big size. For getting a brighter sound, there's not really any exercise here, but a reverse yawn, which no one really does, but I mean, you can always attempt that. So yeah. All right, I hope that answers your question. Oh, every time you yawn, I'm sorry, Rory. Oh no, it's so worst. Yes. Okay, so vocal weight is going to be referring to how much effective mass there is. You don't create artificial weight, nothing is being created. It's more like how much you're involving of it, right? So think about it like you're flexing a muscle, right? Like if you flex your bicep, it could get bigger, and if you relax it, it gets smaller. The same is true for the voice. So putting more effort into the voice can make it thicker. Putting less effort into the voice can make it softer. To try this, I generally go off by saying, hey, try to be quieter or try to be louder. Generally, these perceptual ways to get to that point usually work. But if you try to aim for specifically a really heavy sound, I would try to hold a note as you try and attempt a physical effort. For example, here I'm going to do something stupid. I'm trying to lift my desk here, okay? It's right here. And so if I try to hold a pitch and lift my desk and like really try to lift it, right? Then you can feel like all my body is clenching up, and by proximity, my vocal folds also get thicker, right? And if you want to experiment with getting a thinner sound, you can try a yawn. A yawn works really well, although it also makes your resonance a lot darker. But, you know, you could always work to bring it back up. Or you could be doing like a sigh, like, that doesn't go too low in pitch, but although one of the problems with the sigh is that your voice gets really breathy. And then you're working off a really breathy voice. So it's really important to like then close the vocal folds again using like a creak, for example, or doing like little taps. Thus finding closure and a thinner sound in the process. I hope this has been helpful to you. All right. Well, yes, we are ready to be done with this. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go for that one more and then let's call it. Okay, so monotony helps. Pitch trackers help. So typically, if I take my pitch tracker on my phone, I'm using this one typically. If I use my pitch tracker and I try to hold a pitch, just a really straight, stable one. I see that the line is really like all straight, and I'm saying G sharp 3. That's just the pitch I went for. Now, if you hear a change in my voice, you're hearing a resonance change because my app is telling me that my pitch is always the same. Okay? That was exactly the same vibration speed, the same pitch all across, but you definitely heard a change, although maybe in between the steps it was harder to tell. But that's one way you can tell the difference between pitch and resonance. Use a pitch tracker and then try to hold the same pitch. If you get a difference when you change how small or how big you are, then there you go. You got it right. So yeah, that's why I do a lot of practice with monotony typically. So just going for the same pitch all the time, because then you can hear the resonance really well. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. But what if I go lower? That mad brat sat on that flat mat. That's a shift in resonance. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Same pitch, shift in resonance. So practice with the right tools. I would recommend definitely using one of those pitch trackers. Probably would recommend this and this one over this one, just because I feel like it's easier to see the pitch with these apps. But other than that, yeah, that's what I would recommend. I hope it helps you distinguish the difference between the two. Another quick way to say this is like, pitch is how high or how low it sounds. Resonance is how bright or how dark it sounds. It's a texture thing, right? Really bright pitch, same pitch, but really dark pitch, right? So you could go off of that. All right, hope that helps you out. Okay, so now I'll be wrapping up this session. So hey, everyone. My name is Savvy. You have been watching this workshop. You have been participating in this workshop. I teach lessons in a private setting or in a public setting on my own Discord server called Scientifically Augmented Voice. If you want to join that server, you can click on my avatar and go into the bio and find my server over there. I have a little community over there of people who help each other work on their voices, so you can benefit from using the clip feedback channel over there. Other than that, if you want to book a lesson with me, you can just message me at savvy_sav in all small letters. If you want to know about my pricing or my scheduling, it's over there. Other than that, thank you all for showing up today. I will be here as per usual next Sunday, so watch out for that. I know the events are not yet fully updated, but we're working on it. And anyways, thank you, Rory, again for covering this workshop. And I'll be seeing you all beautiful people in the next one. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye!